Good evening, Daf Ayin Aleph Amud Aleph, 18 lines from the top. The bed Rabbi Yishmael Tana. Rabbi Yishmael gives another reason why a thief's shliach to slaughter his animal that he stole is hayav. All the Rabbi Shliach, the word "all" in the pasuk teaches you to include the shliach hayav in Arba'a Chamisha. The Beit Hizkiah Tana, the Beit Hizkiah said tahat Rabbi Shliach. The word tahat includes it. Okay. Anyway, going back to earlier when Rameir said that. When a guy is hayav mita, he's patur from paying money. Rameir held that even if you're hayav, you can still pay. Now, Gemara asks, can it be possible that meaning, is it possible that in a case where you have kimle, had you done it yourself, you'd be patur because you're hayav money and death, so therefore you'd be patur from the money. However, because you made a shliach and you didn't do it personally, you'd be hayav. How does that make sense? The shliach is supposed to be the equivalent of you. We say, yeah, it's true. Because the reason why you're patur is not because you're not hayav, rather it's because you have kimem drabimine. And if you're doing a shliach, my time if that's the case, then why would hachamim say you're patur? Amri, they say, man hachamim, who's hachamim in that case? Rabbi Shimon, who's Rabbi Shimon? Ammar, he holds, shehita, she'en riya, lo shma, la shma shehita. If you're slaughtering an animal that does not allow you to eat it, it's not kosher for you to eat, it's not considered a slaughter. And since he's slaughtering it on Yom Kippur, etc., on Shabbat, sorry, you do not pay Arba Chamisha. Gemara says, Amri, Bishlam Avodah Zarah V'Shonim. Let me say it's if you slaughtered it for Avodah Zarah and the ox is getting stoned, Shahita Shenu Jinriyah, because they're both Asur. That's not a fitting Shahita because you can't eat it. Ela Shabbat Shahita Ruyahi. But Shabbat, if you slaughter something on Shabbat, you're able to eat it. The Tanakh Mishnah says, Shabbat Yom Kippur. Someone slaughters an animal on Shabbat Yom Kippur. Even though you're Chayav Mitah, it's a good shechita, you're able to eat from it. Where it says, Amare, Sabar like Rabbi Yochanan Hasanlar, we hold like Rabbi Yochanan Hasanlar, who holds that one slaughtered animals on Shabbat are Asur, the Tanan. Someone cooks food on Shabbat. Asur the right side. Bishogegi Yochal, if he did by mistake, he can eat what he's cooked. Mezid lo Yochal, if he did on purpose, he cannot eat it. David Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Damer, Rabbi says, Bishogegi Yochal, Shabbat, if he did it by mistake, he can eat it after Shabbat. Bemezid lo Yochal, if it's on purpose, he can never eat it. Rabbi Yochanan says we're bringing him down. By mistake, you eat it afterward. Other people could eat it, but not him. We don't want him to benefit from it at all. The mezid, here's the here's the main part. If he did it on purpose, he can never eat it. Not by him, not by other Jews. So we see that he holds zasur even for that. That's why we're going through him. Say it's asur. Gemara says, "My time, while we're talking about it, what was his reasoning that you can never have it?" Rabbi Yahya learned this by the Bet Nasi. You shall keep Shabbat because it's Kodesh. Not Kodesh asur banal just like hekdesh is asur to eat. So too, the act of doing something on Shabbat, if you cook on Shabbat or slaughter on Shabbat, that also is asur achila. Maybe you might say that just like Kodesh Asur B'Hana'ah, after Ma'aseh Shabbat Asur B'Hana'ah, you might think that if you do something on Shabbat, also be Asur B'Hana'ah like Kodesh. Therefore, the Pasuk says, Tamud Lamar Lachem, for you, Shalachem Yet Asur for you, to use, but Mutar for benefit. Yachol Afil Shogeg, now you might think it's also Asur even when by mistake. Tamud Lamar, Mechaleleha Motimat. People who do it, who are Mechalel Shabbat, shall die. Only the halachot of the Hilu Shabbat, whether or not you want to keep the item or whether whoever's Chayav Mitah for keep doing Mechalel Shabbat, just like you have to be doing Mezid, so too someone Mechalel Shabbat, say for example cooking, it only is Asur if you did it on purpose, the Mezid. Okay. Pigi bar Ravina, Machloket, Hadamar Maaseh Shabbat or some to say that the Isur of eating something that you did Asur on Shabbat, like you cooking on Shabbat, that food. Rabbi Yochanan Salar holds the right. And some say that Rabbi Yochanan would hold it's only Isur the Rabbanan. Why? One holds the right to Kedamran. We brought it out of Pasuk just now. The Rabbanan, now the opinion holds the Rabbanan. Why would you think it's the Rabbanan? Makra, the Pasuk says, Kodesh he. You shall observe Shabbat because it is Kadosh. He Kodesh ve'en ma'aseha Kodesh. It's Shabbat itself is Kodesh, but not the stuff that you do on Shabbat, not if you cook on Shabbat. That's not equivalent to Kodesh. The Masons, according to the opinion, holds the right to that's why Chamim say you're patur, because it's Isur right later. That's why you're patur from the Arba'a Chamisha. The one holds it's only Isur Rabbanan. Amai patur Rabbanan. How come Hachamim would say the thief is patur from paying 4 or 5? The Gemara says Ash'ara, referring to the other cases of the Mishnah. Avodah Zarah Shor Neskal. In the case of Avodah Zarah and Shor Neskal, that is when he's patur from 4 or 5, but he would agree that you are chayav in Shabbat. Okay. According to Meir, how does he have the case where he's slaughtering Avodah Zarah that you're chayav for Abab Chamisha? Why wouldn't it be? Because given the Shachta Purta, once he slaughters it a little bit, Asra, right? He starts slaughtering it. So the second the knife touches the animal's throat to kill it, it already became a korban for the Avodah Zarah, and therefore it's Isur Bana'ah. Idach Isur Bana'ah. Therefore, when he finishes slaughtering it, he's not slaughtering the owner's animal, he's now slaughtering the animal of Avodah Zarah, which is Isur Bana'ah. And therefore, he's not slaughtering it belonging to the animal. So therefore, he's patur. The answer is no. He's talking about a case where he wanted to slaughter the animal completely for Avodah Zarah, and therefore the entire slaughtering was for Avodah Zarah, and therefore he patur. Shor Neskal, what's the case of Shor Neskal? Isur Inus, Isur Bana'ah. And therefore, Loud Nu'arei shouldn't be belonging to the owner. Once it's Shor Neskal, once it's destined to get stolen, like we didn't begin of the Masechet, it should be Asur, and therefore doesn't belong to the owner, so patur. Marva, in this case, in the case where the owner of the ox had given it to Shomer, and therefore, if damaged while the watcher was watching it, or not watching it, and it was testified and made a mu'ad while this guy was still taking care of it. And also it was sentenced to death while the guy was still watching it, and then it was stolen. Rabbi Meir holds in accordance to Rabbi Yaakov and Rabbi Shimon. What does it mean? Even after the animal is slaughtered, if the owner if the watcher can give it back to the owner, he's able to return it. Therefore, we see that even if it's nechmardino, it still belongs to the owner. If something can cause a benefit of money, it's considered money. Right, so there's none. Someone who stole and slaughtered a hektish animal, you're chayav for 4 or 5. Even so, therefore we see something that can cause a benefit of money, it's considered money. What does that mean? That means like hektish, for example, in the case of hektish, if you have an animal that you made Bessie the cow hektish, and now you want to, and then you lost it, for example, you have to replace it. So that's costing you the X amount of money to replace Bessie. Therefore, this animal, even though technically it's asur to you because it's hekdesh, there's still an inherent value that you don't have to replace it. So too, regarding the shor neskal, it has inherent benefit to it, and therefore, when you slaughter it, you're chayav. Okay. Amar Rav Kahana. We're continuing in regarding to the halachot of chayav malkut and paying money, etc. We're going to see. Amar Rav Zvid. I spoke this bright time in front of Rav Zvid. And I said, can you really make our Mishnah who holds that said the thief who slaughtered the animal on Kippur chayav? According to Rabbi Shimon Meir, not according to Shimon, but we have a second part of the Mishnah said Rabbi Shimon poter b'shnei elu. Rabbi Shimon said you're patur in the last 2 cases. Mechlal divekul matzatin modeh. It sounds like he agrees to the rest of the Mishnah that you are chayav. When it says Amrali, he told me la. That which he said he agrees is only talking about the other cases, the cases of where the thief slaughtered or stole the animal that was for LeRefuat or for dogs, right? Therefore, the only cases where Rabbi Shimon holds your patur is those cases, because in those cases he's not slaughtering the animal to eat. But regarding Yom Kippur, he disagrees and says your patur. Next Mishnah says that if someone stole the animal from his father and he slaughtered it, he is chayav if his father died. Right? So it doesn't make a difference whether the father died or not, because now who's he paying 4 or 5? Let's say he has a brother. It's him and his brother who are inheriting the father. So now the 4 and 5 technically goes to himself and his brother. Right? So that question is now going to be discussed. Someone stole an ox of 2 partners, and he admitted to one of them that he stole it, right? And patur. Therefore, for one of them that he was modeh, that he stole it, he's patur to pay the fine. What's the if he gets caught for the other one? Chamisha bakar, do you pay 5 animals, like the Torah says? But not half of 5. Right? In this case, you're paying half because only one partner you lied to. Or Dilma. Hamisha bakar rahmana. Fa'afilu hamisha haseh bakar, 5 animals, even have 5 half animals. Where it says Amarle, hamisha bakar rahmana, but lo hamisha haseh bakar. Only 5 full, but not 5 half. Now the Gemara says, someone stole the ox from his father and slaughtered it, or sold. Then his father died. He pays 4 or 5 to his brothers in proportion to the inheritance. Where it says, now that since his father died, it's a case where he stole from 2 partners, himself and his brother. Then you do pay 4 or 5, not you do paying partial, not the full. Says, that case is where his father was alive, already sued him in court, and therefore he was already found guilty. That's why he's paying. But if he wasn't found guilty, he'd be patur. Then say, you'd be patur. But then it's in the second part of the Breta, if he stole flock from his father and he died, the father died, then he slaughtered it. Let's make the machloket based off of when the court case happened. That should be the difference between whether or not the father died. Not when the father died. We're talking about when he got sued. When do you chayav when the father died? When the father sued him originally, he was already chayav before he died. But the father died, he won't be paying it. Therefore, it's a bomb question. The Gemara said, "Hachinami." It's true. I did not see Veresha. Since the first part of the Mishnah already said, "Ganam Mishnah Aviv Tabar he stole from his father, then his father died." They kept the language symmetrical in the first and second case. And therefore, you would still be patur. Now, Nachman's about to take it back. Let's the next morning, Nachman came over to him. He says 5 cows, 5 animals to pay. It could be partial. Right, so you'd agree in the case of the father and in the case of the partners, you could pay partial. The fact that I didn't tell you that last night, because the lo achli bistra de Torah, so I didn't eat meat. Meaning, there's 2 explanations: whether he was fasting the day before, if he wasn't thinking clearly, or because he didn't do enough research in the Torah. So then, what's the difference in the first case and the second case? Why are one chayav, one patur? In the first case, where the father slaughtered the animal while the kid slaughtered the animal while the father was alive, he stole it and slaughtered it while entirely not being the owner. That's why I have. Say if I look in the second case where he slaughtered it after the father died, so he inherited a portion of this animal and then he slaughtered it. That's not considered the utvach of the pasuk, because the case of the pasuk is where you stole the animal and you slaughtered it after you stole it. Over here, he's already a part owner because he's inheriting it with his sibling. We'll stop here. Amen.